Now we are recording. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Baba's Interviews, Joyce. I want to understand how is your career evolved and would love to know more about you. I have a few questions. Can we know about you?
Yes.
Yay, great.
Okay. You have to introduce a little bit about myself.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm Joyce. I'm a 26-year-old now, and I am a freelancer. I'm a creative technologist, and I work mostly like in the intersection of performance art and technology. I started working for Another Kind of Blue. They are a dance company, and they work with drones and with AI and VR. I'm doing their drone. I'm working on their drone show, and I'm also doing some AI research for them. So that's really cool.
It is really cool. I've never heard of this people. Oh, I'm working on a drone show. Yay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool and very, very experimental as well. So it's super interesting to work on it. And I started doing that, and then I started to learn how to do light shows.
Mm-hmm.
So now I do light shows for bands and in club nights, and touring with some bands as well. So that's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly like pop singers and stuff like this. And I like to do visuals. I'm still developing there, but I like to VJ. I usually VJ for a friend of mine. He has a monthly radio show at the AMW.
Yay!
You know, yeah.
Great.
And I work now also for Innovation Lab, and there we also work in creative technology. So there I am the producer, so I help out with realizing the projects that they are creating.
Yeah. That's really cool. You do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of things to talk about. I have many questions. Before this, maybe to current creations, I want to ask about your education. What did you study? How did you decide it? Can we talk about that a bit?
I studied media technology. Well, first, actually, I did my bachelor's in liberal arts and sciences, where I focused mostly on one side on informatics, so computer science, and then I focused on the other side on the art history. So I was also like integrating art and technology a little bit, but I was still looking. And then I did a gap year and I worked as a data scientist, and I found it very boring. No offense, but
and it's not so fun as what you are doing right now.
I didn't like it so much, and I missed a lot of creativity. And it was also COVID, so that was really hard. So I had to program a lot by myself in my room, and I didn't like that. I liked the most when I was with colleagues. My colleagues were really nice. And I was a data scientist for 3 days, and for 2 days I was an informatics teacher. I liked teaching a lot. I really liked teaching. I still did that during my master's, because my master's was in media technology, and now it's called Creative Intelligence and Technology, I think. And it's in Leiden. And it's a research master's of 2 years, where you kind of like explore how to like creatively do research, but also creatively use technology. Instead of just doing data science, how can you use the techniques of data science to do creative research?
What was your thesis about, research?
My thesis research was on AI in dance, and I specifically focused on how to generate dance movements based on poetic text input.
Yay! Very specific.
It's very specific.
What was your curiosity about? Like, how did you conceptualize?
Well, I really liked AI and all the models, and I did for my bachelor's also, like in the early days of generative art, I did like GAN research. So I used GANs to create a new art piece for every news headline, and that's what my bachelor thesis was about. So for my master thesis, I also wanted to focus on AI, just to also challenge myself to use AI again and to build AI. And then, and what I saw was a lot of, like, I'm also super interested in dance because I did dancing when I was younger. And so I was like, okay, how can I combine all my interests in one thesis? And I looked at a lot of generative movement models, and I was like, this is super specific. So they generate movement like, if animation needs to jump over something, or they need to sit down, or they walk. AI is super good at it, because you describe it perfectly.
Yeah, how
And
should we imagine? Like, is it something 2D and then you say a sentence and it does the movement, or 3D? How is
yeah,
it?
it's like a 3D, like a little, you know, like a game animation, like a character.
Hmm.
So yeah, you can just input like, oh, this character now jumps over something, and it's kind of good already AI doing this to generate the movement that you describe. But I was like, what if you put in text that doesn't describe anything? If you give some poem to a dancer, they can interpret with their feelings and then dance to it. But if you give a poem to AI, it's like, I don't know these words. You know? So I wanted to research, oh, can I train an AI to be able to understand it a little bit?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Is it does it still lives on internet? Is it?
Yeah, my GitHub is online.
Okay.
So
Where
you can
is
find
it?
it there. And I was published in the Motion Computing Conference. So
Cool.
it's also online, but I think it's behind a paywall because
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the rights to publish it for free.
I see.
unfortunately.
Where is it a better place to find you on internet?
I
LinkedIn.
think no, yeah, I think you can find me on Instagram or on my website.
Okay, great. I will put the website in the video.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like mostly Joyce to Joyce.
Okay, great. So after your masters, then is it? Can we come to the today's, or there
Yeah.
is something in between that was milestone? If like that was
No, I just started working after my masters.
What
on
what
this.
did you feel after your masters? What was your thinking process? Oh, now I need to do get a job or something, like create
Well,
a company. What happened?
Yeah, when I was doing my masters, actually, I was already. I did a exchange moment or like an exchange half year in Japan when I was
Yeah.
doing my masters, and it was really fun because I'd never been outside of Europe and I was never outside in a country where I didn't know anyone. And then it made me realize I can just do anything. I can just go up to anyone. I was learning a lot. I started to VJ there because I wanted to VJ, and I was like, "There's a VJ club. I'm gonna VJ." And I started to do a lot of things that I was in here was a bit afraid more to do or to step towards anyone and just ask for it. And then I came back and I was like, I will do this here as well. I take this
Yay.
philosophy with me. It's very, sometimes it's a bit nervous. Like I'm a bit nervous about it to just go up to people, but it's like, fuck it, it can give you a lot of opportunities. So I saw this dance show with drones and I was like, this is so cool. I wanna talk to them. So I went up to the choreographer and I was like, hey, are you looking for like someone for intern? Because I'm graduating soon, but I mean, I can come by like every Monday just to hang out and learn. They said, no, we're not really looking for anyone, but if you want to just hang out, just come. Next week we're making a new show and then just come hang out. So I hung out with them and I was like really interested in the technology and just trying to put my best. And then the next week I got a call and they said like, hey, you want to join us for a show in India? I was like,
Yay!
it's like, sure. And from there I started to work with them more often, like just for free at the beginning because I was still studying and I didn't need the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, when I was graduating, their new tour started and they asked me if I wanted to join. So like after I graduated, I immediately went on the tour.
But
And,
how does the drone show tour look like? Like you go to places in the evenings, do you have lights
No,
and stuff?
no, it's inside the theater. It's with dancers. So they have motion capture suit on and then some drones in the air are represented by the points in their motion capture suit. So this, at some point in the show, the dancer can move their arm and the drones are moving the same, like the arms
Cool.
or the...
It's small drones with lights, or how does
Yeah,
the
yeah.
visuals look like?
Yeah, it's small. Like it's about... There's one show with 12 drones, one show with 18 drones, and they're like this big,
Cool.
and they have lights, and so you see them with the lights, but you
Like
also
pixies.
you also hear them a lot because they're not so silent.
Okay. So what else you are currently trying to experimenting about? Like, do you have any? Like you had the research question. Is there something that you are curious today that you are digging more on than the other things?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really in research terms, but more artistically. Like I would like to define myself also artistically, and like make some, like works, maybe light works, maybe projection work. So like in my free time, I'm also experimenting with this and applying to like residencies to grow further in this. And yeah, I think that's my main question. How can I, take this my interest in dance and also lights and visuals, and combine this to create like artistic works.
Cool. I have another question about this. Was not exactly didn't formalize it yet, but like if a person wants to explore creative technology, what would you
Yeah.
suggest to them? Like, what is a
If they're new to it at all,
yeah, like they are thinking, oh, maybe should I like maybe they're in high school. We don't know
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Who are they? I don't know. But like, what is the
Ooh.
was your, because it's not really uh, regulated, so
No.
anything can be happening around
yeah, you
creative
can do
technology.
anything.
Yeah.
I mean-
how was your process?
For me, I already was able to code, and I had this huge like urge to do something creative with it. So, like, I have this technical background, and I can apply it more easily. But I think if you want to do creative technology, like, it's nice to have a basis of how to code. But nowadays with AI, even it's not so. But I think the main thing to do is just look up something that you really think it's really cool, and then try to rebuild it. So there's a lot of tutorials online for, like, example, in Touch Designer or like in coding. There's a lot of tutorials. So if you see some visual or something, and you really think, oh, this is so cool, try to rebuild it. And from rebuilding it, you already learn some processes, and then you get inspired and create your own versions and stuff like this.
Yeah, that's a really good way to start experimenting.
Yeah, because
I
think
did that exactly without knowing.
yeah, I think if you look back in the history of arts, that's how people were taught to do art. Like, for example, a Rembrandt, big painter in the Netherlands, he also had students. And for students in art, they usually had to first copy the master before they could make their own art. So I think here's the same message. Just first try to copy all the things that you see. And then from the knowledge that you gather when copying, you can create new things.
Yeah. I didn't know you did art history things as well. That's the news to me. I want to ask maybe that what's your favorite museum in Amsterdam?
My favorite museum in Amsterdam. Ooh, yeah. Because you saw me at the
Recent favorites, maybe.
you saw me at the Huis Marseille.
Yes.
I love that place. It's a really
too.
nice. They have
Very
really
nice
cool
garden.
exhibitions. It's a nice garden. They have really good exhibitions. It's small, so it's like you go there. And it's just it's really cozy. But also, of course, I love the Next Museum. So it's mostly the Next Museum. I think it's just really cool, like their curation of people. So every time I see someone on Instagram somewhere, or like an artist that I like in the Netherlands, and then a year later they're exhibiting in the Next Museum, and I'm just like, it would be so cool if I could go.
Yeah.
Is this annoying, by the way? That sound.
That should probably cancel it.
Okay.
I'll trust the microphone right now.
No, but
Yay.
the Next Museum, and what I think it's really nice about them is that they host also, well, they try to make new ways of just experiencing the art. So they have a lot of dance performances also inside the art piece.
Okay.
Last year with the Random exhibition, they had a few dance performances I saw there. It was really cool, and yeah, it's nice that they try to let you experience the art, not just with going to the exhibition, but also with like parties or like other things.
Co-creation.
Yeah.
I want to ask last two questions. One of them is from today. What are you building for your future self? What are you creating?
Wow. I think that's a hard question. I think
It may change in a few years. That's okay.
I think now I'm just focusing on saying like yes to almost everything that gets to me, so that I have experience and that I have a network on which I can then rely on just bringing me new jobs. Because I already see, like, last year in this time I was really insecure because I had no jobs for the summer, and I was like, how am I gonna like survive through the summer? Well, not survive, but how am I gonna earn money after this? But you always find ways to get a little job. And now even I'm not doing anything and someone calls me, they're like, you want to do this little job? And I'm like, okay, sure, it's fun. And then if you build a network like this, I think you bring other people jobs, but they also bring you jobs, and then you can build from there. And then I hope I have a lot of people that I look up to, but that I also know a little bit. So I hope in the future I can work together with them on cool things, and just don't be afraid, you know.
Yeah, that's that becomes sustainable itself.
Yeah.
Great. My last question is about bubbles.
Of
We have some
course.
bubbles, please.
Yay.
You make bubbles, and I ask my last question about small bubbles. Yes.
I will make green bubbles.
Okay. It's dinosaur.
There's a dinosaur, that's awesome. I love dinosaurs.
Oi.
They are really small bubbles though.
Yep. It's compact bubbles. I ask my question about, do you remember when you were a child, people
Yeah.
ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Ooh. I think I wanted to become many different things. I think at one point I wanted to become a mermaid. That did not well, it
Amazing.
did work out. I joined a club and they're called Sirene, which means mermaid.
Okay, great.
So that one is achieved. I'm a mermaid officially. But as a
Is it a dance
profession,
club, Serena?
what?
Was it a
No,
dance
it was
club?
like I was with a sailing club,
Ah.
and their girls group is called.
Okay,
Sirene.
great.
At some point, I wanted to become a dancer because I was in ballet as a kid, so I wanted to become a ballerina. That was my dream. And I wanted to win a Nobel Prize.
Great. Me too. Let's do it.
Well, I don't want to win a Nobel Prize
Okay.
anymore because
okay.
I don't really like doing research because you have to be with your head deep in the research. And what I like for my job now, I love touring or doing shows. It's like instant gratification.
I see. I think there will be somehow applied project Nobel in future.
Or
It
just
cannot be.
maybe awards.
That's okay. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
Great. So you wanted to be all sorts of things.
Yeah.
today. Great. Thank you for sharing these with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye bye.